Fresh is directed by Mimi Cave and stars Daisy Edgar-Jones and Sebastian Stan. The horrors of modern dating are seen through the eyes of one young woman's defiant battle to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites. I know that I'm about 3 months late to this movie, with it being released in March on Hulu, but the reason that I didn't see it was because I sort of had a New Year's resolution that every single new release that I saw a trailer for, I was personally obligated to see the movie. I had never seen a trailer for Fresh, therefore, even though I have never even heard of the movie, I would still not see it. That was until the other day when my friend texted me recommending me the movie because she wanted a second opinion on it. I looked up Fresh, and I was really hoping, please don't let this be released in 2022. Please don't let this be released in 2022. And of course, it was released in 2022. So I was morally obligated to see it now because of my loyalty to my friend, and I was personally obligated to review it. Yay! So again, going into this movie, I had heard nothing about it. I knew nothing about it. The only thing that I knew about Fresh going into the movie was the cast, and even then, that's like nothing to go on. I am convinced that going into this movie completely blind might be the best way to watch Fresh. Because going through the film, seeing all of the madness that ensues was all the more shocking and all the more entertaining. Easily the best part about this movie, bar none, is the acting. Jones and Stan, in my opinion, might give the two best lead performances of the year so far. Jones plays this character who is so looking for a tight relationship and is so human that when she finds it, her joy is legitimately believable, and when she's thrust into this horrible situation that the movie has her in, you feel so bad for her, but at the same time, she's smart enough to work her way around it. It's such a good performance, and it's such a human character. And Sebastian Stan in this movie is so likable, but at the same time, so just disgusting. It's such a good performance in almost every single scene that he's in. After the opening credits, he completely steals the show. And when the two of them are together at the very beginning and they're having these great conversations, and even at the very end where they're having these great conversations, both of them have such great chemistry with each other and such human interactions. It's so natural and so adorable even. Everyone in this movie has amazing chemistry. From Jones and her friend to her friend and one of the bartenders. Every interaction in this movie seems so real, and you really do get caught up in all of these interactions and the history behind every single one of these characters. Not to mention, this movie is gorgeous. The cinematography is so varied, but at the same time, so lush and vibrant. There are plenty of still shots that just let an image speak for itself, but at the same time, there are a lot of great POV shots, some good dolly zooms, and all of that great stuff that it really sucks you into the movie because nothing ever feels like it's the same. It never feels static, the cinematography. It always feels like there is a certain style to it that it wants to try out every single time. And the color palette of this film is almost always dripping with so many vibrant primary colors, or whites all the way around on top of the primary colors, so those images and those objects always stand out. It's such good cinematography, and it's such good color direction too. And everything after the opening credits is tense as hell. Again, I do think the best way to go into this movie is knowing as little as possible, so I will try to keep my praises about what I'm about to say as vague as possible. Almost every single scene after the 20-minute mark or so is filled with this uncomfortable tension that you have no idea exactly where this movie could possibly go, and almost every single direction is leading to something chaotically brutal and almost never good. With that being said, the movie has plenty of flaws to it, but in my opinion, there are two major ones. For one, the movie feels very rushed at times. Maybe it's because like half of the movie is montages, so a lot of the development feels fast forwarded at times. Or maybe it's because it feels like a lot of story was left on the cutting room floor. It feels like at first the movie was supposed to be 2.5 hours long, but for some reason, whoever thought it would be a good idea said that maybe we should cut like a half hour out of it, and we're left with a good story, but one that feels like there are puzzle pieces missing from it. Maybe this was intentional to build up the mystery about what's going on in the movie, but it still feels rushed, and it still feels like there are a couple pieces of the puzzle missing that do feel essential. And the second big problem is the tone. The tone of this movie is all over the place at times. Sometimes the movie goes for straight up horror, other times it looks like it's going for romance, and then quite a few times it tries to go for straight up comedy, which doesn't work when a comedic scene is placed in between two really freaking horrific moments. And don't get me wrong, there are horrific moments in this movie, and it makes the comedic moments not only feel very out of place, but at the same time, you do oddly find yourself laughing at it because of just how awkwardly out of place it is in the film. But with that said, I do think this movie has enough strong elements in it to really save it, and it really ended up, in my opinion, being very entertaining. The movie can feel very rushed at times, and the tone often feels all over the place, trying to balance too many genres too many times. But with that said, the two leads give career best performances, every single actor has incredible chemistry with each other, the direction and cinematography are gorgeous, and the tension is always palpable. For a movie that I had no idea what it was about going into it, pressing play, I honestly found myself having a pleasantly surprised time. Even though this film is not pleasant, I would say that I was pleasantly surprised by it. It's a brutal movie, but I had fun with it. I'm going to give Fresh an A-. Well guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite psychological thriller? For me, there's only one possible choice, and that is Joker. Joker? I need to talk about that some other time because I need to talk about it some other time on this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best. And don't forget to click subscribe and click the bell icon down below. And I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner. Bye.